My grandparents left me $270,000 for my future. My dad invested it without permission. By the time I turned 18, there was only $27,000 left. My grandparents died when I was 6. They weren't rich in a flashy way, but they were careful. Quiet money. Planned money. The kind of money that was meant to protect their grandchildren from struggling the way they did. They left equal inheritance funds for each of us. Locked accounts. Strict instructions. College, first home, a stable start to adulthood. My cousin Daniel got his at 21. Then my cousin Sarah. Then my older sister Liana. Each one received around $270,000. No student loans. No financial panic. No late night stress about rent or tuition. They graduated debt-free, bought homes, and started life 10 steps ahead. I watched all of it happen while I waited for my turn. On my 18th birthday, my father Kareem asked me to sit down. He looked nervous. Not guilty, nervous. That should have been my first warning. He said there was bad news about my inheritance, that my grandfather's investment strategy was too conservative, that he moved my fund into better opportunities to grow it faster. He said it like he was proud, like he expected gratitude. Then he showed me the account balance, 27,418. I remember the exact number because my brain refused to process it. It kept repeating in my head like a glitch. 27,000 instead of 270,000. He lost over 90% of it. Money that wasn't his. Money that was legally and morally never meant to be touched. My grandfather had locked it for a reason, because he knew my father's ego, and my father still found a way around it. He called it market losses. I called it gambling with my future. While my sister lived in a house bought with her untouched inheritance, I signed student loan papers with shaking hands. While my cousins traveled and built careers debt-free, I worked night shifts, studied during breaks, and ate instant noodles so I could afford textbooks. Every payment I made was a reminder. Someone else's arrogance was costing me years of my life. The worst part? They didn't act ashamed. They acted inconvenienced by my anger. My mother, Nadia, kept saying, "It's just money," but she never offered to give back the portion left to her, never suggested equalizing things between siblings, never sacrificed anything, because it wasn't just money when it benefited them. It was only just money when I was the one who lost it, so I cut them off. No dramatic speech, no screaming, just silence. They weren't invited to my wedding. They didn't know when my son was born. They didn't know when my daughter arrived last month. 3 years of complete distance. Then last week, they showed up unannounced. My mother was crying before I even opened the door. Real tears, loud, performative, the kind meant to be seen, not felt. "I just want to meet my grandchildren," she said. My father stood behind her, quiet, avoiding eye contact like a man who knew exactly why he wasn't welcome. Not sorry, just uncomfortable. I let them speak. Let them talk about family, forgiveness, and moving forward. Not once did they say the word inheritance. Not once did they say the word responsibility. So I said it for them. "You can meet them," I told them calmly, "when you return what you lost." My father's expression snapped instantly. "That's ridiculous." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't argue. I just explained the math. Original amount, lost growth, compounded interest. Roughly $400,000 today. Silence filled the doorway. Then came the real truth. "That would destroy our retirement," he said. And there it was. The confession hidden inside the excuse. My future was expendable. His comfort was not. I asked one simple question. "How much would your retirement be if you hadn't gambled my inheritance?" He had no answer. Because we both knew the answer. They didn't lose everything. They lost mine first. They left after that. No yelling. No apology. Just wounded pride. Later, my sister Liana called me furious. Said I was being cruel. Said grandchildren shouldn't be used as leverage. So I asked her something equally simple. "If money doesn't matter, give me your inheritance." She went quiet, then said, "That's different." Of course it was. It's always different when the loss isn't yours. Now my parents tell relatives I'm cold, unforgiving, heartless. But here's the part no one wants to say out loud. They're not locked out of my children's lives because of money. They're locked out because they proved, with numbers and years of silence, that my future was a risk they were willing to take. And lose, as long as theirs stayed safe. So tell me honestly, am I protecting my children, or just holding on to a debt they can never truly repay?